Thanks for staying with us. So it's Thursday, and today we like to talk about family life issues. And today there was a story about a lady who was a guest on a podcast show saying that she hardly attended lectures, but graduated with good grades because she used her body to get what she wanted in school. Now the school has ordered her to return the certificate within 48 hours. You can also link this to a recent podcast where Yvonne Jegede too had an interview with a group called The Honest Bunch, where she expressed some of her thoughts because she was trying to promote her movie. And then some of the comments caused quite a bit of online backlash that forced her to post a rejoinder, put out a press release to state her own side of the story. Well, let's hear your thoughts. There are two parts of this. First, the part of the podcast, because somebody has said that when you're in a podcast, you kind of just spew everything out, without restraint, forgetting that, listen, this thing will be re-edited and posted. Others are saying, like, listen, that's who they are, and they said it exactly as and they deserve whatever it is that they got afterwards. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 0902416340. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. We'll speak first on this, the lady whose school has contacted her to return her certificate. Now, she went on the podcast, JJ just to talk. And now this happens. What comes to mind? Who'd like to go first, Mariam?
Okay. When I heard the story, she talked about how she had to go to the streets or on the streets to take care of things. That was, okay, that's her journey. But when she said that she slept with lecturers, she still made her papers, now the school had to come in. I just found that the school had every reason to come in at that point. But what I would say is that it's not enough to ask her to return the certificate, but also investigate those lecturers that slept with her and gave her grades that she didn't deserve for her to have graduated. Then you have done a full, complete work. Not one. You cannot single her out in this whole ecosystem, and not give the punishment accordingly. But it shows that we need to be careful what we say, because for me, for her to have said it, I thought her response after hearing this would be acceptance of, okay, they've heard me. I always say that there are some people that will do things, and when they catch them, I'm like, but you opened your mouth to say it now, then you should own it with your full body and everything. Be audacious. But obviously, she did not realize, I don't know how she did not think. Maybe because she didn't attend lectures as often. It would have occurred to her that to have said something like that, she's putting not only herself, the lecturers and everyone out in the open, and she will definitely be asked to pay for it. So definitely the school is doing what they are meant to do, which is ask her to return it. But please, we would like to hear the story that the lecturers as well were called out and sacked for doing this.
You missed, very important. I think what you missed in that story is she said she worked hard for the papers. And she worked hard for that degree.
Okay.
Work hard is relative.
No.
So for me, where I am is the way we have now
interpreted it?
No, right and wrong. There's no, whether it is right, whether it is wrong. We just do everything wrong and right. It's all the same thing now. There is no difference between right and wrong. So that's what I find so. You said it's wrong. I mean, you don't know it's wrong. She doesn't see it as wrong.
Yeah.
She sees them asking her to leave or to return her certificate as wrong. Because something happened many years ago. We were on tour. I've said this story before on set. We were on tour, and one of the dancers, she was in Unilag, and she was having exams, but she came on tour to make money. She had somebody sitting for her exams for her in school, because they were having exams, and she was making money. She was found out, and she was rusticated. And she was discussing with someone, saying, can you imagine how wicked they are? They are asking me to leave because I'm not writing my exam myself. And I said,
don't you realize?
God, I didn't put my watch on silence.
Nyma, let me come to you. YYK is sorting out her.
No, I finished.
But you see,
there's this
wait,
sense-
let me come to you, Nyma, because you know you've not said anything.
I didn't finish. I didn't finish.
Okay, you're turning off your alarm now. Have you finished?
Finish. I've turned it off.
Both of you will not kill us on this show.
So what is? So when I now said that, I was now the bad person. I said, you are here dancing. Someone is writing your exam. They have got you. You know, she didn't understand.
The
So everybody
implication.
looked at me as the bad person. I was saying, come, you are the bad person now. You are the one cheating.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
our
Yeah.
idea of right and wrong. that I
Yeah,
don't
absolutely
understand.
correct. We don't see that there are repercussions for things we do. We just feel like this is Nigeria, anything goes. Hey, I've said it, hey, so who's going to catch me? But let me come to
So
you.
there's a problem with what we call a graduate in Nigeria and what we think it means. So for this person, just hold a degree, BSc, whatever, as a first
However you
degree,
get it.
However you get it is what it means. We don't know that it means that the university certifies you to be fit, proper, and having earned it, showing that your intellectual capacity has increased, your exposure through education has changed your thinking. We don't know that it's a bad representation to the school to have somebody sit at a podcast and exhibit such foolishness.
Girl.
So, yes,
So
a
the
lot of
certificate belongs
people-
to the school?
It is the
Yes.
property of the school.
School.
You are carrying it as a representative
Right.
of the school. It means that you're fit and proper to associate with what the school projects itself to stand for. The Harvard you are going, the Oxford you are going. That's what it means. When you now come here, you see the 1 year finish. That's the problem. She did not acquire any level of intelligence
But she
from
said
going to school.
She didn't go.
No, she not say she no go. So she know, she didn't. Our parents used to joke this thing. We used to think it means that we should socialize in school. Let the school pass through you when you pass through the school. Those things they used to tell us. Don't just go to school. Let the school. We did not know that it means that you're a reformed, better individual than you were when you wrote your JAM and got into school. You're more wiser, more brilliant, more intelligent at problem solving.
Yeah.
So you just go. You have to be on the streets. Then you slept your way to the max. And me and you are holding first degrees and you are shouting. Whereas you're a foolish person and the other person is better reformed. And so you mean to I go school now. I get BSc now. That's all you have to show for it.
That's what I'm saying. Because she didn't go to school,
I
she
get
did
you,
not
Miriam.
realize that, you know.
Gravity of
I
worship.
get you 100%. In fact, I'm with you 100%. So I'm just saying to her, that is why the school has to recall what they have given to her. This one no fit. We did a mistake. Because when we are picking all the beans that we bought, this one slipped into the good bunch. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
The school, if the school had not recalled it, I remember some students had a fraud issue in a company, and they were degree holders from the university I finished, and I read in the papers that the school was recalling their certificate. I was like, they let the EFCC or whoever is investigating the fraud even finish, and they get a conviction. But it was so messy at the time they were recalling. I was like, then this one now goes with a full mouth open. Give a documentary evidence, a video evidence of her confession. You know, setting up a kind of worms, like Miriam said, because all the lecturers involved in whatever number of years she did in school should be probed. All of them should be investigated
And sacked.
and sacked.
You know what?
You know?
You know what is funny about this is, in her mind, she thought she was giving a grass to grace.
No,
story.
no.
She thought
Controversial.
she thought it was a story that
She
would
didn't know the difference between
elicit
right and wrong.
empathy and understanding, like, you know, what I had to do in order to go to school. You see, that's why I don't like this conversation where they say Yahoo boys are actually smart. You know, when we are talking about hard work and people, they'll be like, no, it's because Yahoo boys are
That's
actually
streets.
smart.
That's streets wisdom.
It's hard work to be able to do the sort of the level of fraud that they do. As far as I'm concerned, they are criminals. They are not smart, because if they were smart, they will understand the repercussions of what they were doing. They understand that there are people who are victims at the end of whatever it is that they're doing. She does not understand that what she has done is collect something that was not meant for her. People went to school. They spent their hours, their money, you know,
Reading,
made
studying.
serious
And they didn't
sacrifices.
pass. Some didn't pass. They had to
and
redo the
and your
exams.
own is you slept through school and you're sitting down with, you know, somebody and you're saying it out. There's this conversation.
Intelligence fail am.
wait.
Okay,
There's
so
no
sometimes
intelligence.
you're not book smart, you're street smart. And when you're street smart, you still know that some things should not be done. But when you're smartless, foolish. You don't know where what applies. Because she did not say it in that place to exchange, sorry, Miriam, I disagree, to express a grass to grace story, no. She came to do a controversial, chest it, I had to do what I had to do story. That's what she came to do. And she didn't think twice. It's like an armed robber who murdered somebody's father, coming to marry the daughter and saying, I had to do what I had to do. All of those stories we read in hints those days. You are the ones, you were part of the gang that murdered her father, but you want to marry her and you had to do what you had to do. You're asking for forgiveness. I don't understand. Are you the lowest level of intelligence?
Let me take this call from Jimo. Good morning, Jimo. You're live. Thanks for calling. Hello? Right here. I think you can come in.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's this same thing I'm saying, that we do not know. We have grown up into a nation of, we don't know the difference between right and wrong. Everything is right, whether it is wrong or right. Look, a downfall man will stop on the road. You are coming behind him, he will stop in front of you.
Yeah.
You will try and overtake him. He will come out again.
Lock you.
And then when you talk, he will abuse you.
Yes.
That means he does not see that you have done anything wrong.
No.
Yes. Exactly.
He's right. You that you are complaining, you are the foolish person. So I have been noticing that we don't know the difference between right and wrong anymore. Yeah. How are we going to start to train ourselves to know the difference between right and wrong?
Yeah. We have normalized
we teach
bad
ourselves as children, babies, the difference between right and wrong. We teach our children. What now as adults we have lost.
If it is this bad with our generation, imagine what's to be with our kids' generation. Do you know school buses with full bus of kids? Okay, go.
Let me take a call from Emmanuel. Thanks for calling. You're live. Morning.
Okay, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I'm very touched with the topic you are saying. Please, I want to beg you, ladies. This kind of story, please, I want you ladies to first of all go underground and do some research in our schools and know what is happening in the schools. The lady that said this, yeah, I bet you, if anybody that went to school from 1990 to today and tell you what their children go through in school to get certificate, this is just a minor thing that you said. 90% of years that go through school. This kind of story, you people should not just take it, go underground for 1 month and then study what this girl said and know what lecturers are doing to students. The lady that said this, I don't know her age. At the time she was at school, how old was she to have gone through that kind of a system?
So are we going to excuse what she did?
Our school system are best.
So
I am in my 50s, and I went to school. There were people that knew what they were writing, but the lecturer would never give you what you want because they want to see with you.
Okay.
So she's saying that it's for you people, journalists, to go underground for 1 month or even for 1 year before you bring this kind of topic on television to discuss.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Sex for marks has trended before.
So we have definitely, I was going to say that. I was going to discuss that because we actually have extensively discussed sex for marks over the years. The only reason why we're bringing this topic now is based on what was trending on social media. It's a hot topic, and that's what we're doing, a hot topic. And, but definitely, you're right, sex for marks is something we've treated over time. I've actually gone some really extensively to get more investigation on that. So we've
investigative journalists have done the work.
Done a lot of work.
Plenty works on it. They've discovered. So we're saying we went to school. At one point or the other, you would have seen an attempt of a lecturer or any other at it. But is that how you earn a degree for 5 years for a law course, for instance, or a BSc, that is enough for you to exhibit and misguide younger people by putting it in a podcast? We know they're evil everywhere, in every sector, in every business that you go. You will see sex for something. We are dealing with it as a society. We have not reached where we would like. But because journalists did not go underground does not mean we should excuse one person who comes and misguides public by expressing it as our way to having achieved a degree. So we did with the lecturers one part. We will do underground and some lecturers will go for it. But when a person owns up to it, that person too should, you
She
know.
did not realize what she was holding up to.
She's not-
But you know,
she's holding up to.
YK, you mentioned this attitude where we don't seem to know what is right and what's wrong. And recently, there's this tweet that's quite making the rounds right now, and it's about our Nigerian passports and the sort of treatment Nigerians get holding the Nigerian passport, where they are just assumed that you're a criminal and things like that. And so a lady made a tweet. She says that she used to be married to a Nigerian, and that whenever they would travel, she saw that sort of injustice, you know, to her ex. But she says she also knows of Nigerian communities where they live so loudly in their crime. So you go to different countries, you're doing different crimes, but you're so boastful about
Teaching
it.
someone else about
So yes, she admitted, she says she even thinks that countries like Russia and many other European countries are worse than us when it comes to some of these internet fraud. But there's a way that we carry it, which is we now have a culture where we don't realize that what we're doing is wrong. We're just so proud of our crime and the proceeds of our crime. We're just putting it on social media. And remember
Easy to pick you out.
Yes, remember the hush puppies. He was so proud of what he was doing. In fact, we started having celebrities sitting with him to endorse him in one form or the
Showing
other,
off
you know,
resources.
and using him to tell all the young people that, look at him, you two work hard so it can be like him. So
I
that's
love
it.
that angle,
That's
because
it.
it
There's
reminds
no
us
culture.
that
There's
is-
no proper culture.
That is so, goes to the heart of this, who we are as Nigerians, what we've become.
What we've
based on-
allowed ourselves.
What we've become, based on the circumstances of our society, what we see. Because you're right, you don't even see the difference, you don't even know. A lot of things we do it so loudly. Now, we have to make it a culture. That's because me, I like to do loud when I go to parties. Spraying for me is normal. But if you want to look at it properly, should I be disrespecting the naira by throwing it on the floor? Really? But for me, I'm so accustomed to it that
I've absorbed.
it's me. It's my
It's our culture.
it's in my DNA. I cannot go to a party because I feel like how can you be doing 50? And I'm not going,
changing
see
notes.
on what basis? What that means it feels as if I don't respect you.
Example
So,
of a school.
I heard somebody say that this one that they say we can't go and spray at parties, what are we going
Going to do and do.
for now?
exactly.
You eat and go home.
If
What
you,
about
eat,
that?
you have food in your house. I don't need to eat in your party. I'm
you
coming to
can
your party.
eat.
No, because the objective,
Oh,
like, when you go to
Nigeria.
a party, you sit down there, they serve you small chops
Yeah.
to listen to the MC.
Then you get up.
We are waiting for the moment
Where you
that
get
the Alagbo,
Have you ever
the guy at the band,
Yeah.
starting to dance to play,
And that you
then the
dance.
celebrant moves forward, and then you go and hear one see. That is why you are there.
Oh, yeah, one see by attending. Have you ever imagined throwing a party and nobody comes? That's the point. We have taken the honor of attending away
And
from
see,
the
don't
attendance.
come and let
So
us-
you must
this is not
climb
our
stage
topic.
and spray. The band is supposed to entertain people to dance. But we have carried the honor
Get up
from
and dance.
dance
Which
to
one is
go to the
spray?
band to show off, say,
No,
as
it's
we are
not
calling my
showing
name.
up. It's not showing
But
up.
we
Don't
have
lie.
crossed, it is
I am-
show off.
I am-
We have crossed to the calling my name thing. If a band calls my name at a party, it's a different feeling altogether. Whereas I attended the
Nyma,
party,
Akasha,
imagine.
Zibiri.
When
So
they-
we have
when they
taken it,
even-
we have redefined it.
Mention my name at parties, I just beg them,
Hide.
please. And I go and secretly give them money. Please just don't come.
But they
to
will
me.
even call you for that money.
Anyway, let me take a while. Calm down.
Before band A,
I brought
were you
this
telling
here.
them to make
That
it
example
secret?
was
I was. Oh,
Let me take this call.
I hate spraying.
Okay.
I really do.
I don't.
I know
Owolabi
you
doing
don't.
better.
Hello.
Good morning, Owolabi. You're live. Go ahead.
I think the school really do a justice to this by calling the lady out and asking her to return the certificate within 48 hours. This will rewrite the wrong. Because you see some ladies like, I slept my way to the top. What about the lady that is hardworking, that walk her way to the top? So, last week, my alma mater, I have a lady there. When we are having fun, the lady will have 5. I will imagine that, I didn't see this lady in class. And
knows
this
her.
lady passed first class. I was struggling to even have 2-1. So this thing, I think, is a wake-up call for everybody. And for him, like my lecturer will say, common sense is not common. That's just what happened to her. I'm feeling that, okay, she will work hard for the certificate and the school should do that. That is a good 100% I'm in support of it. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
All right, let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with this topic. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.